love this theme. This is yet another quintessential G2E theme. Every year it's about the sort of supplier-operator relationship and where it is. And it seems like now more than ever, and it's interesting for you coming from the outside, but certainly from a company that's very much invested in tourism, observing this. All of us have observed wins in the space that is operator-supplier collaboration and creating new and exciting spaces. And we talk about it every year at G2E. But maybe, just maybe, is this the moment? I mean, given that things like social games are coming from this front, and daily fantasy is coming from this direction, and fantasy sports, and esports, where the kids these days get together in 25,000 seat stadiums and watch people play video games against each other. Against this backdrop of so many different potential threats, is now the time to see truly collaborative efforts on the part of manufacturers and operators working together to build these kinds of spaces? Is that the answer? And Gavin, I know you're very passionate about this.
I think that's why our mission statement is to empower our customers. You know, by creating great experiences. That's exactly why we put all these companies together. We do see this as a great opportunity. I don't know if now's the moment. I think it's been around for a while. I think every year we get a little bit closer, and a lot of our innovations come from working with our customers. You know, we listen to our customers. They say, wouldn't it be great if you did something like this? Let's work together and try and do it. We're all about that. You know, with us the size, we're over 40% of our people across the world involved in innovation. That's over 3,500, which is under 3,500 people. So, you know, we're investing in that. We do believe it, and I think that's the way you work together, and you're going to make this gaming experience, if you will, great forever. But it hasn't gone away. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and you know, obviously we're in a different world now with different technological speed. And I think working together, we can keep up with that and make sure that we stay around for a lot longer.
But I do think, Gavin, that's a change of attitude. If you go back 10 years or whatever, I think there was a lot more. Look, there's always natural tension between a buyer and a seller of a product, right? So, but if you go back 10 years, I think that there was a lot less collaboration, and it was sort of like, okay, here's the product, you know, sure, you buy it. And generally back then, I think that casinos weren't as sophisticated on the capital allocation side, so they replaced their slots every 4 years or whatever the number was. Well, that number is actually expanded out to, what is it now, Gavin? How many?
150 years.
150 years. So you know, casinos are getting a lot smarter about allocating capital, and I think as a result of that, the suppliers understand that if, in order to be successful, they need to provide products that are going to add value, and I do think the collaboration's increased a lot, you know, with social gaming and the internet. I mean, historically, the suppliers really haven't had the data. I mean, we have all the data, the casino guys, but now with social gaming, which a lot of the suppliers are running their own sites, they can actually collect a lot more data about what players like and don't like, and I think that's
absolutely
had an impact on it.
Just on that point on data, for many, many years we've had this discussion that operators come and say, we've got data that show us this. Well, show us the data. Well, no. We're seeing a lot more collaboration. You know.
Yeah, we have to share the data. I mean, there's no question that, you know, we need to share data with the gaming manufacturers, and the gaming manufacturers need to share data with us. And there hasn't been, I don't think historically, from what I've been told, and I could be wrong, but just hearing what I'm hearing, that, you know, we haven't historically been real collaborative on that. And that's what I mean by an inflection point. Now is the time to start, I think, cooperating. Given the state of play of slots and what's happening and how much is anchored in that business, we need to figure out how we start growing that business again and getting out of what I call the saturated market, right? And I think the time's now to start innovating, whether or not, you know, it's not going to replace all slot play, but certainly there's a segment of the market that we could attack right now and bring people that are millennials into the casinos. We opened up O'Shea's here at the Link, just one of the new O'Shea's, and we have 10 beer pong tables, right? And everyone said, oh my God, can we do that? And it's the most profitable bar on the Link Promenade.
Is that right?
It is crazy good. And so we're just sitting there going, wow. And you know, we created an environment, and they're packed, by the way. If you go in, anytime during the day, you can't get a beer pong table to play with, right? Now, you guys, I think, would love that place. You haven't been there yet.
We're going to form a game where we throw them into our Cintas-sponsored cups up here to give a nod to the sponsor.
But that is, you know, it's a millennial game. I mean, it's, you know, my kids in college are all doing that, right? And they're actually very, I have very high competency kids in that sport. So it's a very, I recognize it. I didn't train them. No, I never got involved. But But yeah, creating that kind of environment that's social, more social, I think is really important to millennials.
Right.
And even as they get older, because they're so much more tech savvy, I think the current product lineup is not going to be helpful. Right.